Hello, everybody. This is Devon Torres from Dead Wrestling, and welcome back to week number 4 of Wrestlers of the Week. We're not going to waste any time. If you haven't seen it already, check out. There's going to be an iCard and a link in the description. Go check out my last episode. It was a super show that went up yesterday. Usually these videos are going to go up on usually on Sunday or Monday. This video is coming out a little bit later because that super show came out, but starting next week, next either Sunday or Monday, they will be going up weekly on the exact same days. Unless there's some kind of weirdly exception. But hey, if you watched the last episode, you know how this concept works. Every week, I pretty much pick my 10 favorite wrestlers based on their performances, based on their matches, based on whatever the hell they did this week. It could be even a promo or something completely stupid, like Sami Zayn getting trapped in a mousetrap at WrestleMania. He was on my list. Go check out that other video. I covered all the way from WrestleMania week all the way to last week, which was weeks 1 through 3. This is week number 4. I'm going to stop blibber blabbing blobbling. Let's just get right into it. Number 10 this week, coming from AEW Dynamite, Darby Allin and Andrade El Idolo had a really great coffin match. But I could not squeeze Andrade El Idolo onto the list because there's only 10 competitors and there was a lot of great wrestling this week. There was Impact Rebellion. There was Impact Wrestling, just the show that was on this week. There was NXT UK had a great match. I guess NXT 2.0 Raw and SmackDown happened, but they're not really on my list this week. And then we had a lot of great matches on AEW, Rampage, and Dynamite. But to squeeze in a little bit of that Dynamite in here, we had to pick Darby Allin as our number 10 spot with Andrade El Idolo as our honorable number 11 spot, but number 11 doesn't get any points. This is the top 10 system weekly. I give Darby the 1 point this week because it was a really great gimmick match this week with the coffin match, doing the crazy stuff, diving, that suicide dive that hit on Andrade into the coffin. There were thumbtacks on the back of the lid of the coffin, if that makes sense, and people were getting slammed onto that, like Jose the assistant and Darby. It was really cool. It was really hard-hitting, but I believe Darby and Andrade did have a better match like a couple weeks back. This coffin match, I think, was a little bit held back by the gimmick, but still it captures 1 point here on Wrestlers of the Week. Moving into our number 9 position, we head over to the UK with NXT UK, the black and red brand. We have Ashton Smith, Oliver Carter, Tyler Bate, and Trent Seven. Mustache Mountain versus those other guys. They had a really great tag team match on NXT UK, a 2 out of 3 falls tag team match. They're doing a lot of really cool stuff over in NXT UK, and it's sad that they don't really get the attention they deserve. I feel like everybody needs to go check out this match. Let's get into the number 8 position so we could talk about the match a little bit more. It's Ashton Smith's partner, Oliver Carter. Oliver Carter gets the 3 points at the number 8 position, just due to, I think I was more impressed by all the stuff he was doing in the match. With the other 2 guys being Mustache Mountain. Him and his partner have a lot of really cool maneuvers and stuff that they were doing. They earned the first fall with the just cool trickery of moves and stuff like that. Moving on to number 7 this week, we have Trent Seven. Ha! You see what I did there? Boom! I actually honestly didn't do that on purpose. I actually just noticed that looking at my piece of paper right now. But number 7 this week is Trent Seven getting 4 points. I feel like Tyler Bate, as always, I think in Mustache Mountain matches, Tyler Bate tends to carry the load a lot more, and Trent Seven is kind of like the heat guy who gets the heat, who gets beat up a lot. I think he's the one who took the first fall in this match, if I recall correctly, and he was getting beat up quite a bit, but he does rank higher than the other 2 guys who did cooler stuff in the match, and Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate ranks 1 point ahead of him, spoilers, but he does rank higher than his 2 opponents because he won the match, and they're doing some kind of story with Mustache Mountain and NXT UK where the tag team champions being Mustache Mountain, Tyler Bate, Trent Seven. Trent Seven is starting to do some heelish stuff to be able to keep those tag team titles, and it doesn't seem like Tyler Bate is really liking that. To talk about it more, let's move on to number 6, being Tyler Bate with 5 points. It seems like their story is like, I guess Trent, maybe because he's older because he's lost a lot, maybe because he's becoming more desperate to, I guess, hold on to the tag titles that him and Tyler Bate, big strong boy, you guys just got to go check it out. That match on NXT UK. NXT UK deserves a lot more love. They do great stuff over there all the time. Go check out this match as we move on to number 5. Number 5 this week, the rest of the list is going straight over to Impact. Impact Wrestling's Rebellion happened over the week on Saturday, I believe. And on Rebellion, we seen a amazing main event between the former world champion Moose and our current new Impact World Champion, the Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander. But first, let's talk about Moose. Moose. I'm sorry, I got a little bit carried away there. Anyways, Moose gets 6 points this week. He's my number 5 wrestler of the week. But to talk about the match fully, I think we're going to move on to number 4, the new Impact World Champion, the Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander. I mean, this match was really great, stemmed from Moose cashing in, using his championship opportunity at the most opportunistic time when Josh Alexander won the Impact World title, at the last, pay-per-view, the one that Josh Alexander won the world title. I don't remember which one that was, but it's okay. I seen it though. And he cashed in on him pretty much in like a Money in the Bank sort of situation, right in front of his wife and kid, and took that world title from him. And ever since, Moose has kind of been very cocky, talking crap about Josh Alexander. Talking crap about Josh Alexander and mocking his family of doing what he did to him in front of his family, spearing his wife at an indie show. So, it made a lot of sense that Josh Alexander was going to defeat Moose, and it was a really great match. Some of the highlights are they were just beating the crap out of each other. Josh Alexander was trying to hold it together and not get himself disqualified, being so pissed off at Moose. Moose with huge drop kicks. I don't know how a man that size, he's probably about 300 something pounds, super tall, and he can just throw a drop kick like he's fucking 105. But yeah, there was this cool sequence where Moose was going for his spear. Josh Alexander turned it into a Styles Clash, hit that C4 spike to become the new Impact World Champion, and that's why Josh Alexander ranks as number 4. So you might be asking, if I said Impact's Rebellion is taking over the rest of the list, but the world champion Josh Alexander, he sits at number 4, who are the last 3 people who take up the top end of the list? Well, I'll tell you, the new Impact X Division champion, Ace Austin, takes the number 3 position. And kind of spoilers alerts for the last, other 2, but Mike Bailey and Trey Miguel, they're coming up next. But I was really impressed this week with the X Division talent. I mean, Ace Austin, Trey Miguel, Mike Bailey. I am very familiar with Mike Bailey from watching a lot of independent wrestling over the past 3 years and seeing him do, just amazing shit. And but I wasn't really familiar with Trey Miguel and Ace Austin. But during their tag team match that also involved the Laredo Kid, but he's just an honorable mention this week because in that tag team match he didn't really do as much as the other guys, I feel. But holy crap, just the tag team match and the triple threat match on Rebellion were both just amazing, and I can't even sit here and tell you all the crazy stuff that these guys did in these matches, because some of it is so smooth that you're sitting there and you're like, how the hell did they even do that? Ace Austin doing his weird handstand thing that he always does and just doing a bunch of cool stuff. I put him a little lower, even though he won the X Division Championship. I was a little bit less impressed with him than I was the other 2 guys in those matches. And that's just my personal preference. But congratulations to Ace Austin getting 8 points this week at my number 3. Moving on to number 2, it's Speedball Mike Bailey. I mean, goddamn, Speedball Mike Bailey, he kicks the shit out of people. And he does that cool shooting star freaking knee drop, moonsault knee drop, whatever it is. Gosh, there was one point in the match at Rebellion where Trey Miguel and Speedball were just taking turns wailing with kicks on Ace Austin. There was this cool freaking Trey Miguel was holding Ace Austin in like this Alabama slam position, and Mike Bailey runs, springboards off the rope in the ring, and does a moonsault onto both of them, just making them eat crap. Mike Bailey did his double knee moonsault thing onto both guys who were stacked on top of each other. I mean, you just got to go watch this match. I don't know why you're listening to me trying to rationale why these guys are on the top. Number 1 this week is Trey Miguel. He gets the 10 points. He is my official wrestler of the week. Just watching both of those matches, the tag team match on Impact and the triple threat at Rebellion. I mean, you just see how freaking smooth this dude is, Trey Miguel. I wasn't very familiar with him before watching this show, but I damn well am now. And some of the stuff he does, like when he like backflips into the ropes and he does all this crazy shit, and you're just sitting here and you're like, how the hell is he doing this? Like, how the hell is it humanly possible that this dude is so goddamn smooth in between those ropes? And one highlight that I'll point out, everybody just needs to go watch this match. I just can't keep talking about it. But one highlight is like he hit like a suicide cutter. Like he suicide dived and hit Ace Austin, I believe, or Mike Bailey. I don't remember. He hit one of them with like a cutter, like suicide diving into a cutter. Go watch this match. It is amazing. Well, hey, there you have it for this week's episode of Wrestlers of the Week. Let's take a look at that leaderboard real quick before we catch you later. Currently on our leaderboard, Jon Moxley still sits there up at the number 1 position. Nobody has yet to dethrone Jon Moxley, but there's still a whole lot of time left in the year. In joint number 2 position, you got FTR. I'm sure, on next week's episode with their match against each other, they're going to raise up probably above Moxley, depending on how great they do. You got Bianca, Minoru Suzuki, and Wheeler Yuta, and Trey Miguel joins them up there in that joint number 4 position. Down in like the number 7 and 8s, you got Zack Sabre Jr. and Becky Lynch, followed by Okada and Ospreay with 8 points. You got Samoa Joe, Ishii, Ace Austin and Mike Bailey are in there at the top now, relatively high. Josh Alexander, Moose, CM Punk, Adam Cole, Bebe. The leaderboard is starting to get very filled out with a lot of great talent, and I would love to see a lot of them raise higher up in these ranks. But hey, what'd you guys think about this week in wrestling? Let me know who you would say your favorite wrestler of the week, what your favorite match of the week was, and hey, let me know that in the comments below. You could also give me a like if you want to. Yeah, click that like button. And also, hit that subscribe button, or I'm gonna do a suicide diamond cutter on you. Yeah, you better subscribe, sucker. I'm gonna leave now.